What's going on, Javier Javier? It's your boy Javier Javier with the Javier Javier Show. Make sure you say it twice. No intro this time. I might do the outro. We'll see. But I want to talk about conservatism, the label itself to be specific. Now, I've been wrestling with the term conservative for maybe the last few months. Now, I want to explain why I'm wrestling with the term conservative. I consider myself to be conservative, libertarian conservative to be exact. There are different schools of thought when it comes to conservatism. There are so many different people who identify as conservative who have totally different values. It's like mixing and matching with so many different ideologies and current events that's going on. And there's a lot of conflict in between the values that we currently hold. The same goes for liberal or libertarian, far left, far right. There are people on this side of the spectrum who totally agree with certain things on this side of the spectrum and all in between. And the reason I'm wrestling with the term conservative is because when I walk into a conversation, people generally seem to assume that because I am labeled a conservative, that I must somehow adhere to the popular view on all political subjects. It's not true. I'll say that again. It's not true. Now, I do allow my conservative values to inform me on a day-to-day basis about what actions I should take, what's best for my life, and what are the things that I should value on a day-to-day basis. Not only that, when it comes to a political level, I consider myself to be more libertarian than I am conservative. I don't identify with the Conservative Party, which is the Republican Party, GOP, right? And the reason that I have to make that explicit is because when people hear the word conservative, they automatically assume that this person is aligned with the Conservative Party, GOP. And it's getting very repetitious explaining this to people that it doesn't mean one and the same. Now, labels evolve over time, and people come to understand them differently. You have people who call themselves classical liberals who don't identify with the mainstream liberals you see today, or progressives. They have completely separated themselves, and some even vote Republican. Now, I want to make this clear. I am not married to a party. I am not married to a political leader. I am not married to a group. I am married to what I think is philosophically sound and what makes the most sense. And if I am presenting information that changes my worldview, I am so happy to do so. Because what is greater than all of these labels, what is greater than all of these parties and these political leaders, is the truth. The truth will set you free. It might hurt a little bit, but it will set you free. Now, we have allowed certain factions of each side to hijack what it means to be a certain label. So when I see conservatives make arguments that I would not dare make a day in my life, it hurts me. It's one of the reasons why people ask me why I focus more on black people and what they do versus white people and what they do. And it hits me a little personal to home because I am black. So when I see conservatives make arguments that I wouldn't necessarily make, or I think this properly misguided, it hurts me. And I'm asking myself, by using the term conservative, am I doing myself more harm than I am doing good? Now, I generally agree with a lot of conservatives on a lot of issues, but this is not a video to knock conservatism or liberalism. This is a video explaining why I wrestle with the term conservative. It's based on principle itself. What do you do when a label that you have taken on no longer represents all that you are or all the views that you represent? Do you leave the label behind? Do you drop it? Now, people will make the argument that labels are not important. We shouldn't be using labels at all. We should be focused on issues. I would also personally make the argument that labels are useful in certain contexts. It allows people to come together and be able to identify each other on a set of shared values that allows you to accomplish a common goal. But what happens when that common goal is no longer as clear-cut as it once was? Well, that's nature. That's life. So I'm not really saying that I'm dropping the conservative label. What I'm telling you is I am wrestling with it. What may come of that, I don't know. At this moment, I'm still calling myself a conservative, and I stand by it. That could change. But I want to know from you, do you think labels are useful? Do you think they do more harm than they do good? Do you identify to a specific party based on your label? Or does your label represent you personally and it's independent of any other party? What does it mean to be what it is that you are? I've given you my thoughts, but I want to know your thoughts. Write down in the comments below. Tell me what you think. I'm interested to hear from you. And also, before you go, you could do me a big favor, and all of us a big favor, if you just subscribe to the channel. Help me reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. That way, I can put much more time and energy in these videos. I can get a whole lot more creative, and we could really explore the big topics and go deeper and deeper, as deep as you want to go. You could also support me by going to patreon.com/the Javier Javier Show. Make sure you spell it twice. That's Javier. In the link below in the description, you can find it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope all of you are staying safe, and whatever your label is, thank you for watching. I am out.
1 in a million to 1 villain. Too hot to be in the kitchen, I'll end up melting the ceiling.